Welcome to Education Forum, a show that brings you trends and developments in the education sector. I'm Maureen Babidie, and straight into it, on 20th and 21st of February, heads of various schools converged for the Senior 5 placement or selection exercise at Lugogo. This marked the first selection under Uganda's new lower secondary curriculum, which was rolled out over 4 years ago. This selection process demonstrated how schools are adapting to the new competence-based curriculum. Unlike the old system, where top schools prioritized students with multiple distinctions, this year's placement focused on how students performed in specific subjects under the new grading system. Let's find out from the head teachers about their choices.
So for us in our selection, the selection is according to subjects. So the subject that the learner has passed is the one we are gathering the subject that the learner has passed, and then you give her the combination. And for us, we have stopped on C. But dependingly, because if someone has got a CC, that one, depending on which combination. There are some combination where you may not take CCC and you manage. For us, for example, if she wants to take physics, chemistry, biology, if it is CCCC, in senior 5, she may not perform well. But ABC, if she has ABC in physics, chemistry, and biology, then she can do better. So the basis is according to the subject performance. However, this student might come and say that this combination you have given, I don't want it because my career, I don't want to be in the medical field. Maybe I want to be an accountant in the bank. Maybe I want to be a journalist. So from there, you discuss with the student, then you change it to the subject that are turning with her career. So that is the basis that we are following. For us, we are not following over 5 A's, but those 3 subjects where she's going to get a combination is the one we are following. We are not counting over how many A's. He might have A in history, yet he wants to take maybe a subject where she has B, depending on the career that she wants to take, the job she wants to have in the future. So when I say C, I'm saying in case these 3 subjects that she wants to offer at A level, if she has got C, D, D, we don't give her that combination. For us as a school, though there are some schools who can give. But if she has got A, B, C, we take her. Or if she has got B, B, D, there are 2 subjects, so she has got A, B or B, B, and then the other one is D. We can also take her, depending on the career, after discussion, the career she wants to offer or to get in the future. So it is technical. It is not like we are stopping on C or on. No, it depends on this learner, this student, when she comes. We also again need to discuss with her whether what we have offered is going to lead to her desired job in the future.
According to the Ministry of Education and Sports, we were able to receive 130 students, and those who have acquired the 4 A's and the 4 B's. So accordingly, we are giving combinations basing on 3 subjects. So one has to have either 3 A's or 2 A's and B in a subject combination. Of course, you see, we have different levels. We usually take the best performers according to the ministry's guideline. And when you are given students with 4 A's and 4 B's, then it means that you cannot settle for a D or a C, because those ones we don't have them in our list. So those ones maybe will find their way in other schools where they have been sold. So, and of course, the students we usually take have A's, then B's. The worst is a B in a combination. Yeah, in all the subjects. Because if you look at someone with a C in mathematics and you give him that combination and he's competing with those with the 3 A's, chances are that he is going to be threatened and will end up dropping out of that combination. Like the role of comparative advantage, that everyone should do the work where they can do best. So you cannot go for someone in a certain subject where he's not comfortable. So we are looking at the performance. Where you performed well, that's where you should be praised. Otherwise, if you get someone and he says, for me, I want to do this, but according to the performance, he has not passed the subject, then why would you actually give such a person that combination? So we are looking at the performance vis-a-vis the, of course, the career guidance. Yes. So when we go back to the school, we shall sit and look at those who have applied, and of course we shall follow the ministry's guidelines. If we have settled for those with 4 A's and 4 B's, then we can also locally take those ones 3 A's and 5 B's. Because there are people who cannot actually apply online and they visit the school. So, but mainly we put online application so that whoever is not in Mbarara, you can easily access us from anywhere in the country. But those who come to school, we also serve them.
We took 100 students on merit, and our cutoff point was we took 7 A's and 3 B's. That was the cutoff for Gayaza High School. Ordinarily, whoever has 2 A's in their subject combination and a B can perform well in that combination at A level. So we are looking at a minimum of 2 A's and a B.
Now, the placement or selection exercise for Senior 5 students was so competitive, especially with government schools. Although there was improvement in performance for candidates under the new lower secondary school curriculum, many students failed to make it to their school choices. This was due to various reasons, such as inadequate space to accommodate many learners. Let us hear more from the head teachers.
Gayaza High School has not expanded as yet. It was built for 600 students, but we have kept on admitting more and more students. At the moment, we have 1,500 students, and that is more than its capacity. We have tried to expand the O level, but A level, we are not yet there. We still have a small capacity for A level. That's why we have 100 students at the moment.
Trinity College Nabingo has been applied for by quite a big number of applicants, almost 1,000, if I may say. But we've been given government intake 110 because of the capacity that we can take on at A level, being limited, obviously, by facilities, that is the dormitories. That's what we can accommodate at A level, as small as that, out of that big number. Yes, so the rest have been sold elsewhere, while others are unselected. I've been going through the unselected list. Unfortunately, it also has boys. So this goes back to the schools to guide students when they're making their choices. Because Nabingo is a girls only, but now we have cases of boys applying for it. The intake has been based on score A and a few B's. So majority are A. And when it comes to maybe giving of combinations, sciences is going to be mainly A and maybe double A and a B. So that will be for the sciences. Maybe the arts, it can go to A, B, B, something like that. We've based on, let me say, a raw score, which we estimate to be behind the letter given. Obviously, behind an A, there is a figure, either an 80 or a 90%, and even a B. So our selection, that's why we limited ourselves to an A and B, where we expect it to be between 1 and 2, at most 3. That is the B for a science combination.
King's College Budo has taken students of 7 years. So that is our cutoff for this year. It is rather challenging because you know that many people are desirous of the school and they want to join it. But challenges always trigger new developments. So to us as a school, we are trying our level best to expand our facilities. In the previous 2 years, we have constructed 2 dormitories and we are finishing a classroom block. So we are upping our game and we are trying to accommodate as much as we want, as possible. But let me tell you, you cannot match the demand. What we have to do is to improve every other school in Uganda. That should be our major target, that a learner in any part of Uganda accesses quality education. Because it will not be only traditional schools. Some people can't. It will not be only Budo. It will not take everybody. The mission of every educator should be to improve the school under their jurisdiction. And that will create a big difference for this country. My heart goes to those learners who have the zeal to learn, but don't have the opportunity to be in an organized school. We should make every school in Uganda give quality education. That should be our ambition. First choice, they have to be above 2,000. It is 2,900. Those are the first choice students. Government selection is 150. That's a disappointment. Definitely, we will do other quotas which will take us to 250. But that's not fair to this country. It means we have to improve every school in Uganda so that students get quality education. And it is your mission, it should be my mission.
But how was the situation in private schools? What is the basis of their choices to admit Senior 5 students? We talked to one of the teachers from Panorama Secondary, a private school in Mukono district. She told us about the relevance of this placement or selection exercise and the criteria they used.
The exercise is very important for a given school. It gives a sense of direction, that's one. It gives an area code to prepare very well for these candidates who are coming. For instance, if you have science, you need to know the nature of the students you're going to handle if it is a specific school. So the exercise is very good and it is worth to be carried out in a given school. Currently, because the new curriculum emphasizes very well that we do not have the divisions like division 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, as it was before in the old curriculum. Rather, we have now results 1, 2, 3, and so on. But what we are deciding as a school currently here, for a student to go on with the science subjects at A level, we would look at the maximum levels of achievement in every subject to be an A. That's, for instance, if the learner is going to have PCB, we expect an A in physics, an A in chemistry, and an A in biology. Or we expect an A, BB, like that. And then we add on the GPs and then subsidiary math and ICT, all a BBB in these core subjects. And to the worst, we expect a BBC for a learner to qualify for a science combination here at school. For arts, arts, as we all know, the basis of achieving, we were considering AAA, the core subjects, ABB, BBB, CCC, and we're also considering CCD to at least cater for these learners who may want to join the arts section. That's how we are standing. Why are we using that specifically for science? We all know that we considered from an exceptional learner to this learner with a C, who is regarded to be a satisfactory learner. At least we prepare them to have the best out of their combinations regarding what they will be in the future. That's what we have decided as a school. Currently, maybe before there was a challenge in terms of explaining the levels of achievement. But now, because these levels of achievement are clearly described, I believe the grading is of no harm currently if you understand very well what the competency and what the level of achievement stands for. I don't find any problem in the grading currently, only that it keeps on disturbing our parents because they are also stakeholders in the system. I believe the challenges are there because, one, as we are learning, we need to consider the learner's choice. But when it comes to schools, they also sit down and formulate their own policies. So it is a 50-50 way of handling issues. Yes, they were left out because they did not achieve what those schools expected out of them. So still the learners were hurt, but they may join some other areas, not those ones they selected. However, it wasn't good to be left out. Mainly, the students we are experiencing in Form 5 currently, many of them, let me say 90% are of the new curriculum. Because we've been practicing these teaching methods, the methodologies we are going to use, we also have now the syllabuses, the syllabi, they are open. We have to break down the topics. We have to encourage them. We have to break down all the learning methodologies, all the activities of integration. I believe they will continue. So it will not be a hard task to engage them in what they have been doing for the past 4 years. And I believe we are to have it to its maximum attention. Of course, every learner deserves a chance, and there is always a chance to change. What past cannot determine your future. Because we are solving the nation's problem, we are trying to reduce illiteracy. Definitely, we may end up helping those learners who may have been denied elsewhere, such that we help them learn and fit in the system.
Now, during the Senior 5 selection exercise, the chief guest was the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. J.C. Muyingo. He was impressed by the new learner-centered curriculum, which enabled many students to excel and join A-level. He said that, unlike before, the new competence-based changes in the O and A-level curriculum equip learners with vast knowledge and life skills.
According to the results released by UNEB last week, he indicated that 98% of the learners who sat examinations passed and they qualify to proceed to the next level of education. I'll be a very happy man if you can help me push all of them to that level, whether Senior 5, technical, vocation, because the government wants every child of school-going age to go to an educational institution, stay there until he has at least acquired the necessary skills to enable him or her compete in the job market. I'll be very happy. But of course, The joy was evident as the entire country celebrated the good results of the candidates. I hope you have not forgotten the UCE candidates who sat the last examinations under the old curriculum. That's my prayer, I hope. And please don't mistreat them also. At the release of 2024 UCE results, Mama, the Honorable Minister of Education and Sports, directed the placement committee chaired by Dr. Jane Gao to ensure that all the learners under this category who qualified are considered for post-UCE placement. Don't forget them. Even 10,000 learners, over 10,000 learners sat under this category, and over 80% of them qualified to be placed for post-UCE education. I hope they have been considered. Colleagues, allow me to say that we are at an historic moment in our proactive struggle to fundamentally reform our education system and make it relevant and more responsive to needs. The secondary education curriculum reform is only part of the comprehensive and concerted efforts by government towards human capital development, which is critical for national development. The expansion of access to quality education for all Ugandans started many years ago in the 1980s, shortly after the NRM government came into power. The 1922 government white paper, which proposed major reforms in education, was the early culmination of all these efforts. I would like to inform you that one of the consequential outcomes of the recommendations of 1992 government white paper was that game changer the introduction of universal primary education and universal secondary education. These two programs have significantly increased access to both primary and secondary education for many Ugandans who previously would not have had an opportunity to study. The increased access is being achieved through two policy interventions by government. One, lowering the cost of education on families. This is a major factor for school dropouts. But of course, by removing compulsory school fees through the provision of capital grants. Two, bring schools nearer to the people through the policy of establishing at least one primary school in every parish and at least one secondary school in each and every sub-county, at least. This intervention is being done in two ways. One, by constructing seed secondary school, and two, by grant aiding of community schools, which we are doing and we are committed to continue doing. Under these second policy interventions, I'm happy to inform you that over the last 15 years or so, over 500 secondary schools have been constructed or expanded with the new infrastructure under the APL1 project alone. 500. In your places where you go, people sometimes keep asking government, what has government done? You should tell them that we are seriously building schools. We are going to expand and rehabilitate those dilapidated ones. I have a very big list of things that the government has done, but I think you know this thing. I don't need to take you through. Tell them about the many technical institutes that are the state of the art. Go to mountain. What is this one in Mbale called? Go to the north, go to the west, come to the center, go to where I come from, Bukalasa, Agricultural College. Go and look at them and invite people to come and see the state-of-the-art institutions. I'd prepared and asked me to share with you. I don't know whether I should, but you need this information because we are going for elections. Did you know that, people? You need to tell them, and our government is going to continue serving. Isn't it, my colleagues? I think we have been tested. So you need this information. I think I better give it to you. But the people are tired. People are tired. Over 500 secondary schools have been constructed and all expanded with the new infrastructure under APL1. Under ongoing, there's also another one called U-Gift. Over 110 schools in phase 1 have been constructed and commissioned. Another 92 will soon be commissioned in phase 2 to begin operations in 2025. By the completion of the third phase of the project, over 260 secondary schools would have been constructed or provided with additional infrastructure. Under the recently launched Uganda Secondary Education Expansion Project, USIP, we are going to have another 116 schools. Some will be built, constructed new, others will be expanded, revamped. Oh, you'll see us when time comes. You know, because I'm at home, I'm with my colleagues, allow me to use French when it's necessary. Okay? Through grant aiding of community schools, over 300 community private schools have been grant aided. And most of them in sub-counties without a government or government-aided secondary schools. 300. In addition, to increase the access to secondary education, government has also invested in expanding access to TVET under the Skilling Uganda program. We have built, we have revamped and expanded and equipped technical institutes, colleges, and schools across the country to develop critical manpower skills for industrial development and employment. Therefore, we have adequate capacity to absorb all these learners who qualify to go to the next level. To ensure that these reforms and interventions are appropriately guided, planned for, resourced, and implemented, we have also been formulating the relevant policies, laws, regulations, as indeed is our mandate. We now have in place the National Teachers Policy and the related law. The National Teachers Bill is before Parliament. That one you know. You are always asking me when is it coming. It's coming very soon. We have the TVET policy in place, and we are in process of setting up the implementation structures, including TVET Council. Colleagues, there are many things you've done. Don't forget to tell them that one time before NRM came into government, we had only one university. We would have about 5,000 Ugandans in the university. Let's look at the many universities you have. Almost everywhere there is a university, isn't it? Look at the products we are passing on to the community, to the market. Very many. I look at them sometimes after when I'm very tired, I see even you people put dress like a doctor. I say, thanks so much to the NRM government. I highlight some of these critical interventions to impress upon you that the government has a comprehensive plan to improve equitable provision of quality and relevant education to all Ugandans. For all Ugandans, to all Ugandans. It's also to remind you that each and every one of us has a very important role to play in this regard. And what are we doing here today? That is the placement of the first cohort of learners who successfully completed the lower secondary education cycle under a competence-based curriculum. This is a very important milestone on our journey, providing quality-based education for everybody. The competence-based curriculum is simply meant to ensure that education equips our younger people with the relevant and appropriate skills, know-how, attitude, and values to be productive, responsive, resilient, innovative, and self-sustaining citizens for personal and national development. It is, therefore, my appeal that we continue to work hard to continually improve the delivery of this curriculum so that we can realize the intended benefits that can be transformative for our country, Uganda. Through this placement exercise, my dear colleagues, majority of the learners who qualified for a UCE certificate have been placed in schools of their choice. That's my prayer and hope. Their choice and merit for A-level. We expect that the rest will be absorbed in other post-UCE education and training institutions that government and the private sector have provided. I want to encourage learners and our parents to seriously consider the option of TVET courses at the next level, as these courses develop readily available skills. Head teacher, before these students leave your compound, before your school, please prepare them, show them this option. Up to now, people think that those who go for TVET institutions are the failures. Fortunately, this time nobody failed. They are not failures, they're able to do something. People, I normally go to attend their graduations. Before, those who go the other side, before they leave the institute, they're already driving. Those who pursue that line top academic level, you see them jumping on borders. Let me also remind you, my dear headmasters, that you hold a great responsibility in improving the quality of education in this country. Government is counting on you to be committed to your work and responsibilities, especially by supervising your staff. Effective learning is taking place in your schools. I wish I had the time and share with you some of the very funny stories I came across during my tour. Head teachers, please go back to teach. Head teachers, please go back to the staff room. That's where you belong. With the bookends, the time has run out. Government is aware of the many concerns my arts teachers and head teachers have. And the same government is still very committed to gradually enhance remunerations to make it comparable to the enhanced pay for science teachers and head teachers. I urge you to be patient as government identifies the resources to address this well-known challenge. As for now, I encourage you to take advantage of the government funding to the Teachers Circle to start income-generating ventures to supplement your family incomes. As you are all aware, recently government released 20 billion Uganda shillings to Uganda Liberal Teachers Union Circle. Let us organize ourselves and effectively make use of this offer. My dear colleagues, the head teachers, the issue of ever increasing fees is a great concern. Not only to me, but also a concern to our parents and the entire public. Wake up in the morning and say you increase. But now people are concerned. At the closing ceremony of the recent S1 placement exercise, the Honorable Minister of State for Primary Education, my sister Dr. Kaduchu, emphasized the government stand and His Excellency the Presidency directive against the illegal actions of charging compulsory fees in USE schools and converting classrooms into boarding facilities. Please don't do it. People, I would like to re-echo this message and warn of serious consequences for those who will continue to undermine the government program of universal education. Please respect and implement this program. The purpose for which USE was established is very clear. I'm saying, stop forcing away our children out of the UPE schools, USE schools for school fees. If you have agreed with your parents to charge something for good reason, that is between you and the parents. And by the way, you need to seek permission from the permanent secretary. But don't begin by sending away our children. I wish to warn you to desist from this practice because it's against the teacher's code of conduct and it's unprofessional. It is you to be the role models. It's your role to provide information and advice to the parents who are seeking your admissions. Please do not leave them stranded at school. Attend to them and provide information on whether the school is able to absorb the applicants or not. As I conclude, I want to urge you to take seriously the issue of career guidance in schools. The generation of learners we have now needs a lot of psychosocial support and a lot of career guidance. Make your institutions safer. Make your institutions safe for learning and be leaders of the reforms for a better future of the education of our country. Please observe that school calendar and implement it to the letter. If that calendar is to be changed, you must seek permission from the permanent secretary's office. Senior 5, the current senior 5 being selected are to report on the 3rd, and let it mean 3rd. There are some districts where they allowed, and I think PS, they allowed the staggering of beginning. That is still within. But you find people almost, people, the calendar. PS, I want you to make sure that this calendar is followed to the letter. Please don't forget, Senior 5, 3rd of March.
And that's about all we had for you in this week's episode. For the Senior 4s joining A-Level, have fun and stay safe. I'm Maureen Babidie. Be well.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
International Women's Day is celebrated annually on 8th March. It is a time to reflect on progress made, to call for change and to celebrate acts of courage and determination play by women. On Saturday, 8th March, Uganda will join the rest of the world to commemorate International Women's Day. The national celebrations will be held in Chankwanzi district under the theme Accelerate Action for Gender Equality. The President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will be the chief guest. Join us for the live broadcast to witness outstanding women receive medals in recognition of their achievements and contributions to the country. Happy Women's Day.
Property Line, everything real estate, construction, class, and luxury.
Real estate, it's land and developments on land.
We are now, as a country, in an auto-drive mode with respect to real estate.
We have a deficit in housing of more than 2 million units.
For the real estate, when you have income, I want you to contribute something.
Don't miss The Property Line every Saturday 7:30 p.m. and Monday 11 a.m. only on UBC TV. Inspiring Uganda.
Do you hear it? Do you see it?
In Uganda, Tanzania.
That's the sound of business in a developing economy.
For UBC News,
Charlotte Amuge in Kampala.
Catch the weekly business roundup every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. only on UBC TV, Inspiring Uganda.